Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to English for Biology students. Today is probably going to be our last lesson because I learned this week that you guys have tests and zavrečne testy or skuški. Things are really going to start happening for you guys next week. And so you guys need to start concentrating on those subjects. So today's lesson, I'm just going to go very briefly over a couple of things. So first of all, your evaluation. As I said, there was not going to be any tests this semester. It would be, your evaluation would be based on your abstract and your poster. So whatever you got or whatever mark you received on your poster will be your final mark. But I mean, I know all of you guys did really well. You guys are some of the most brilliant people. I mean, you guys are geniuses. So you're students that I just enjoyed working with. And despite all of the coronavirus crisis, the circumstances that we had to continue with our lessons, I just want to say thank you that you guys participated, that everybody, got, you guys did the work, you communicated. I think we got, we got closer in some strange way, even though even though this is distant education, distant learning. But regardless, though, this was an amazing experience for everybody. So, anyways, before I rozlučit sa s vami, let's go into our lesson. There's two things that I want to talk about today. The first thing I really want to talk about is UNICERT, okay? I have mentioned this before. I've talked about it kind of a little bit, but I just want to show you where you can get resources for UNICERT. So just bear with me for a moment. I'm just going to load up the page on the FNS, the Faculty of Natural Sciences website, and I will show you how you can go and find the information about UNICERT and all the advertisements, like when the Vstupni test is going to be, and so on. So let's go right into it here. Okay, so if you want information on UNICERT, you would go right to our main, right to the main page, okay, of the FNS Uniba SK website. Go all the way down to the bottom, okay? So over here, where you see on the left-hand side, O faculty, you'll see something here that says Pracoviska. So click that, okay? And you'll get like all the departments and areas of the faculty. And just at the first part here, okay, after the decanat and everything, you'll find the Katedra Jazykov, okay? So you click that. All right, now over here on the left, okay, so you'll find a column kind of towards the bottom. You'll see something here that says UNICERT. Okay, so you can click it, and basically you get all the information, all the advertisements of when the test dates are. Just be careful though. This one here is from last year, actually. So it just says 23/9/2019. Okay, so that it still hasn't been determined as to when the entry test for UNICERT will take place. Okay, but that's going to be worked out. Okay, there is also UNICERT for German language too. Okay, so if some of you are no longer interested in learning English at our faculty, you can go to the German. Okay, you can do both even. There's no problem. If you can fit it into your schedule and you want to go into German and to English, if you can figure it out, if you can manage it, by all means, go for it, okay? So everything is over here. This is basically very, very brief, okay? It tells you something about UNICERT. There's something here at the top where it says presentation, basic information. So you can click it, okay? And so what we teach here is UNICERT 3, okay? The level C1, okay? This presentation here is also a little bit in Slovak as well. I'll show you a bit here. So the first slide will explain to you what it is. Okay, it's a system of certification and accreditation. Okay, for various languages. Okay, for for learning in a university context. Okay, so it's a great certificate if you want to study abroad at a university in a different country in Europe, for example. So if you have this certificate, you don't need to actually go and do their English language test, okay? Because a lot of universities say, okay, well, if you want to study here in English, we need to test your English first, but you can bypass it, okay? You've got your your UniCert certificate, and yeah, you'll have no problems. You don't need to prove that your English is good enough to study at that university. Now, also, a lot of people say, I hear this a lot, okay, does UniCert have an expiry date? Okay, no, it does not. Okay, so it does not have an expiry date, so you can use it for a long time. So you've got everything written here in Slovak, okay, just as I said here, okay, so it supports the mobility of students, okay, for studying at a foreign university, okay, and it confirms the the knowledge of a foreign language, okay, in that study or that field of study, okay, for future employers, okay. So even for future employers, you can use this certificate, okay. This is also very important here too, okay, because it's a preparation course, our UniCert. Okay, so prepares you for these international certificates, okay, for example, IELTS, okay, which is a course that I teach in the second year. It's a vocabulary-based course. It's, I think the material is fantastic. I really recommend all of UniCert if you want to continue English language studies or even German language studies at our faculty, okay? Otherwise, after the second year, in your third year of your study, you're going to be working on your bachelor's thesis. Then you have the master's program, and you won't get English again until the doctoral program, until you become a PhD student, okay, where you would meet me again. I teach all the PhD students at our faculty, so yeah, so between second year and first year of PhD, that's 3 years that we don't offer the general population of students language training. So if you want to continue, and it's free of charge, of course, and you get credits for it, I recommend going to UniCert. But again, maybe it's not for everybody. Maybe you've got other things you need to focus on as well. Okay, so again, we know the levels, okay? UniCert 3 is a level C1, okay? We also go, to the B2, the upper intermediate, okay? Here is something about sponsors and all the participants as a part of the program. Okay, here is the accreditation. Okay, so this is what something, the certificates are going to look like. Okay, this is membership for language accreditation unit for universities in Central Europe. Okay, but you will get from our university, so you can see our logo here from Prifuk, a certificate that will look like this, okay? And it will have all your, your grades, your evaluation, okay, from reading, listening, and writing, signed, and so on. All right. So these are the three main components, okay? So you'll do a lot of reading in the first part, or the first year, I should say, as well as listening, okay? There's 5 listening tests, okay? And there are, of course, presentations, okay? So break this down here. You can have 1 oral examination, okay? So you'll be asked some questions. You'll be given preparation for this, so it's not going to be any surprise. You're also going to do a presentation, okay? So if you don't like presentations, I'm sorry, but you can't avoid it here in this program. In fact, at Prifuk, we do so many presentations. So it doesn't end with our course of English here. Now, there's also a final presentation. This is a big one, okay? This is one that, usually takes place in June. It's, a 20-minute presentation that you will make to like a comisia. There will be 3 people, at least 3 people. I will be there. I'm part of the comisia. There's some expert like an odbornik or odbornichka who will come also. And also, not always, but actually always, I should say. Sorry, your teacher of who takes care of the biology. So that would be Mrs. Slovakova. So she would also be as part of the comisia. Okay, so let's have a look here then. So for the writing, you're going to do an abstract. Okay, so we've already done that. So you've got practice with that already. You're going to do something called a summary essay. Let's put this a little bit, there we go. So, I explain this. I have a prednáška of how to do a summary as well as an opinion essay or an argumentative essay, as it's called. And there's also a final presentation of the summary. Okay, so this is the breakdown of the percentage for the evaluation. All right then. So and if you want, there's something where you can go and find out more information about it. Okay, and that's basically about all I wanted to say for Unicert to you guys. Okay, so our last assignment, it's just going to be a really small PowerPoint presentation. Because most of the assignment is about thinking, and so it's kind of hard to, I didn't really want to make a long presentation, that's kind of, boring or drawn out. I think that's the word I'm trying to say. So I'm going to show you a short presentation, and this is kind of, it's the nature of this week's assignment is philosophical. Okay, so we've looked at, we looked at meditation, we looked at the spiritual side, we looked at mental health. Okay, what do we do, in times of of COVID-19, or vulnerable people, homeless people in prisons, and so on. Okay. We looked at, physical health, and things like that. So our final theme is going to be about philosophy. So I've asked this question sometimes, or a few times, I should say, in the past, and it regards God versus science. Okay, now this is not I'm not preaching any religion today. Don't worry. This has nothing to, I don't want to say nothing to do. This is not Christian based, Hindu based, Buddhist based, or anything like that. It's philosophy based. Okay, so this presentation actually is more about thinking about especially 2 different ways or 2 different methods, of looking at things. You have scientific method, okay, and or creationist methodology, okay, and then you also have the views of religion. Okay, I'm just going to show you these 9 slides and a quick task that you can do for me this week. Okay, so let's get into our presentation here on God versus science, okay? Or even religion versus science, okay? So these two, I guess, aspects of life, have always been in conflict, okay? One has always been trying to disprove the other, okay? So our first cartoon, have a look here. Look at this, okay? And then God created scientists. so they could discover evolution, okay? So as the father, reads from the book of fairy tales, have a look at this cartoon, okay? Think about this. So you have two different methods here. You have the scientific method, okay, which takes all of the facts, okay, and then wants to draw a conclusion from the facts. Whereas if you have the creationist method here, so you already have the conclusions. Now they're looking for the facts to support it, okay? So you can see the two different directions both methods are taking. What is interesting is that here in Europe is the number of people who believe in God, okay? So you can even see here we have Slovakia. It tips, more to the believers. You can see that, these countries here, Portugal, Malta, okay, Turkey, okay. Turkey is more of a Muslim country, but I want to make it clear that when we talk about God, okay, this is not just, this is not specifically a Christian God, okay. So this is God with, that's perceived by all world religions, okay? So at this end here, you have, higher part, and Slovakia here is just around 60%. Okay, so it's all about the chicken and the egg, okay? So, what came first, okay? This is the the question that's been around for ages, that's I don't want to say it's impossible to answer, okay, but this is something that scientists, and spiritualists, religious clerics, and so forth, have been debating and trying to answer for centuries, okay. All right, so look at this guy here, Galileo. All right, so Galileo Galilei, okay, he was an Italian astronomer, okay, he's known as the father of modern science. He did a lot of things here, okay. So he originally wanted to become a monk, okay. He constructed a telescope. He was fascinated by the cosmos, by the universe. Okay, he supported Copernican theory. Okay, I'll go into that in just a second. This actually got him into trouble. Okay, he went to jail. He was in prison for a number of years because his beliefs were in contradiction to the Roman Catholic Church and the state, okay, at that time, back in the 1500s. And at that time, the Roman Catholic Church believed that the Earth was Earth, our planet, was the center of the universe, and everything revolved around it. And however, Copernican theory is a little bit different. Okay, the Copernican theory believes that the sun is actually at the center and Earth goes around it. Okay, so and there's a few other. So this is why he went. He was under house arrest. Okay, and he also developed a universal law of acceleration. Okay, let's have a look here. Okay, so this is his most famous quote, okay, his line, okay, so, and yet it moves, okay, so the it in this quote refers to Earth, okay, it moves was startling, okay, it was a denial, okay, of the notion that was adopted by the Catholic Church at that time, that Earth was at the center of the universe and therefore stood still. But Galileo was convinced that model was absolutely wrong. Okay, so he was a believer of the Copernican theory, or heliocentrism, okay, which is the name given to the astronomical model developed by Nicholas Copernicus. Okay. So this model positioned the sun, okay, right here near the center of the universe, it was motionless, and Earth, and of course all the other planets, orbited around, around it, in a circular path. Okay, of course modified by epicycles, but they're in general at uniform speeds. Okay, this, so that they don't hit each other, or anything like that. All right, so your task this week then, what do you think? Is there space for God and science to coexist? Okay, can everything be explained by scientific method? Can everything be explained by the creationist method? Okay, think about things like this. Can love be explained? Okay, think of things also like the Big Bang Theory. Okay, the universe. And well, I should have put 3 dots there. Okay, I didn't complete that sentence. Okay, regardless, what I would like you to do here, I'm just going to go back to the selfie. Okay, so what I would like you guys to do is just write anything, as short as you want or as long as you want. Okay, I want you to think of these two methods, scientific and the creationist. Okay, but you can think of any other types of methodology, because one method, it goes one direction. Okay, it has the facts and it's trying to make a conclusion from the facts. Okay, trying to answer empirical evidence. The creationist method, believes that God created Earth and the universe and everything else, and that it's even possible to determine the age of Earth, through genealogy of all the figures and all the people that are written about in the Bible. Okay. So basically your task is there room for both of them? Okay, can God and science coexist in modern times, in the year 2020, and so on? Okay, so I just want you guys to think about that sort of stuff. It's all philosophy. There is no right answer. There is no wrong answer. I want to say thank you guys for everything this semester. If you've subscribed to this channel, don't unsubscribe yourself, because I'm not going to finish. This is not really the end of the videos. I've decided that I'm going to continue doing YouTube videos. I've started investing a little bit into some better editing programs. I've invested actually in a tripod, or at least a desk tripod, so there's not going to be any jittering, camera movements or anything like that. And so what I want to do is I want to keep this channel and basically offer it to everybody at the Faculty of Natural Sciences. So I'm going to keep going on with English lessons. It's probably more about grammar, because I think grammar is neglected a lot here. I'm also guilty. But nevertheless, I think we need to do it, and so throughout the summer, I'm still going to be posting up videos as much as possible. Maybe not every week, but we'll see how it goes, and then hopefully in September, when everybody comes back, we see each other again. We can use these videos just as something supplementary to the material that I'll teach in the lectures. Okay, guys, good luck to you in your examinations. Okay, take care. I've really enjoyed teaching you guys, or at least being, a part of the, of your education. The stuff that you send to me, all your assignments are just amazing. Your ideas, and I'm just really, really, glad that I had the chance to be a part of your class. Okay, all right. Take care of yourselves, everybody. Good luck on your examinations, and have a great summer. Bye bye.